Where did the name HR Smoke come from?
It's the name that I'd used in my art previously. It's kind of derived from a kind of technique used by a French writers group called the Oulipo. It was from the M+7 method, which I had used in writing things.
How did you two meet?
Well, we both used to work at the same college.
Yes, I think we must have met there.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I've been encouraged to meet you a few times by other people. Andy taught English, I teach art.
Right.
I'd heard about Andy's art, and we finally did meet up about your art. And
Yes.
within those early days of becoming friends about doing an exhibition together, but Andy straight away sort of suggested, if we do an exhibition, could we do a piece of music for the exhibition? So I said I played a bit of bass,
So we started practicing at the college.
To perform a bit of music at a private view.
We did an exhibition, didn't we? Another exhibition. And I'd written some poems which were in a little book.
Oh, yes, that's right, yeah.
And at the exhibition, nobody looked at the
That was right, yeah.
And so I thought, well, how could I, make them more noticeable?
Right.
Well, if I set them to music.
Do you start with your lyrics first?
Yeah, so I kind of write a set of lyrics, and then I think about, how to set them to music. Kind of speaking the poem over, as it were, and trying to listen for what kind of tune I was kind of just saying, and then what chords would fit with that. So that was the kind of initial method of writing music for it. But sometimes I'm just noodling on the guitar, and you kind of have an interesting chord, and you think I must use that chord, and so you kind of find a way of fitting it in.
When I was looking through some of your backlog, there is this, I'm going to have to refer to my notes, what name about the power of horror?
I kind of write songs in sequences, basically, based on some sort of idea that I've had, which is often quite a flimsy one in a way, but in that case...
What's the name? Sorry.
Yeah, Julia Kristeva, who
Right.
is a Bulgarian, I think, psychoanalyst and literary theorist, quite well known in literary circles, kind of thing. And she'd written this book about abjection, all those states of kind of falling apart and decomposition and bodily fluids and things like that. So kind of things that you kind of tend to not want to think about very much. And I was reading it on holiday, and it had section titles that I thought would make good song titles. And I thought, well, we'll try to use the book in some ways as a starting point for writing. I tried writing songs with those titles, but that didn't really work. So I kind of took phrases from the book and used them as opening lines.
Your lyrics come from all sorts of different sources, don't they? So it seems like you'll make a bunch of songs, where you're doing that, and other songs where you're taking things from Twitter or something like that.
So there's lots of lyrics.
So I'll have a look at these and sort of say, some of them may seem really personal, and I'll say, this seems like a personal one, but it's not. It's sort of.
You can write them such that they seem personal, as it were, but they're kind of like found sources. The material is, as it were.
So I find that really fascinating.
But I like the idea of the kind of singer-songwriter as a kind of medium for personal expression, but it also isn't totally personal expression. Still on hold now, and holding on. It's raining, temporary traffic lights on red. The baby is crying, my mother is dying. The basement is flooded, and it rains all weekend, and it rains all weekend, and it rains.